Hey, good morning, Sue. Oh my gosh, I am praying. Please, can you hear me? I have been having so many technical issues lately. I don't understand why. Can you hear me? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's just been so frustrating. Like nothing has changed on my computer. I've been using the same pieces of software. I've been connecting the exact same way, but all of a sudden I couldn't use my webcam anymore. There was no sound coming from it. So I had to test my webcam thinking maybe I dropped it, but no, it's working on another computer. And it's been so confusing and so anyway, I won't go into that. I'd rather just craft to calm me down. Hi, Carol. How are you? Yes, good to hear me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. There seems to be, I don't know, I've never noticed this before, but there seems to be permissions that a website has to, a website you connect to, which is StreamYard, has to get permissions to use your camera and your microphone. And it's different depending on which browser that you use. Anyway, it's just been a real learning experience. And anyway, yeah. Okay, let's get started. Hope you guys are good. Okay, today I'm really excited because we're going to use card sketch number 11. I'll hold this up if you want to take a screenshot, but I always add another post in my Facebook page to give you a picture of the template and then a picture of the finished card. So you can always get it by revisiting my Facebook page. So we've done 11 now. Today will be the 11th card sketch. And these have been a lot of fun to do. And I have to do a big shout out to Terry Gaines, a US demonstrator, because she took all of the templates from the annual catalog and she added measurements. So thank you so, so much. It's been really, really helpful. Okay, and when you start doing the measurements and working it out, it turns out that for this template, as you can see, we're actually going to be taking a piece of DSP, two-sided, of course. So pick the sides, a piece of DSP where you like both sides or that both sides coordinate. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. But the total size of this, might want to mark this down. The total size of these two, this piece here is one piece, and then we're going to cut it up. But the total size of that piece is 3 by 4 3/4. Okay, 3 by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to give you some options, of course, as we start designing. So when I cut this panel out, it's really small. I mean, here's the card base. It's white. I've picked white, but look how small. This is small, pretty small, I think. I don't know if the camera can pick up the differences between those two. You'll see it as we go along. Now, when you pick your DSP, and I'm using this fabulous, oh, these papers are so pretty because I love the colors. It's probably time I switched my camera. So let me just switch to my desktop camera. I'm using the Ocean Friends suite of products. So, I mean, you can just look at these yummy colors. They're just so bright and cheerful and so summery of this designer series paper. Okay, this is called Friends of the Ocean. And then you've got the stamp set, which is called Ocean Friends. Now, this is a suite of products in our January to April mini catalog. And I call it a suite because there is a stamp set, there is a set of dies, there is an embossing folder, there are some beautiful matching colored gems, and there's the designer series paper. So it's a whole suite of products. I love suites because you've got everything you need to coordinate, and you've got lots of options for creating as well. I brought out some other cardstock because we might do a few little elements on here. The colors are so bright. I've got lemon lime twist. I've got pumpkin pie. I've got mango melody. No, not mango melody. I apologize. Melon mambo. And I've got summer splash. So beautiful colors, okay, that you can play with. Now, the thing I love about this suite, every now and then Stampin' Up! Has been coming out with a suite of products where the dies can be used to cut out the caricatures on the designer series paper. So when I first cracked open this product, I decided to go ahead and do that. So you end up with either a pumpkin pie crab or a melon mambo crab, as well as, I might as well just throw them all out here on my desk. So yeah, you can get this colored crab here. And then you've got more of a melon mambo crab here. Okay, so you've got the two different colored crabs that you can use. So they cut right out from the paper. But if you like stamping, inking and stamping, of course, there's the exact same crab stamp. And you can just stamp the crab out. You see, here it is. And it's 2 times stamping, which means that you have an outline image and then you have a filler. So you can stamp this crab in any color that you want. Okay. And you don't necessarily have to use, typically we stamp outlines with black, but you can stamp with 2 coordinating colors to get the outside image and the inside image. Same thing for the lobster. There's an outside image for the lobster and inside image for the lobster. So you can do the same thing. And so the lobsters also cut out. Here's a pink, beautiful pink lobster. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. And then there is also a melon mambo lobster. Okay, so you've got those 2 different colors for your crabs and your lobsters. And then when you are cutting from the designer series paper, I always advise that you use every part of the paper. So when you get to the edges of the paper, you may end up with something like this. This is the back end of a crab. But for the inside of your card, you could put that along the side of the panel and have the crab look like it's exiting off or trying to escape if you do it this side. So let me just pull in. I'll just show you what I made. It's kind of a fun little technique. So say this is the inside of your card. If you glue this half of crab to this edge, it looks like the crab is trying to escape, you know, from within the card, which is kind of fun. And you've also got, and so here's the top part of a crab. So these pieces, I still use the die, but they're along the edge of the paper. So you can cut these out. So you've got this one too, that you could have coming up, crawling up inside your card, which is kind of fun. Okay. And then there's some other, there's some lobsters here too, half of lobsters. Here's an example of a half a lobster. So don't waste the outside edges of your paper. You can cut those all up as well. Okay. All right. So let's just set these papers aside for now and all of our little creatures. And let's get started with making the card. All right, so I've got my card base, a white piece, which is half a sheet of our regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And this is what I call a portrait style card. Remember, you can always turn your cards to be landscape. And so there's our base here. And then I've picked the designer series paper. Now, with this pattern, it's simpler if you use one piece of designer series paper with a pattern on both sides that kind of coordinate. Okay, sometimes they don't really coordinate that well. They're either not the right color or they're not a very attractive pattern. But this one I think will work really well. So as I tell everyone always, when I start cutting my designer series paper, I always cut them into strips of 4 inches and then by 5 1/4. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel, and I'm going to cut this down. Now, this is this total size, as I said earlier, of this piece in the middle. So this is 3 by 3/4. No, 3 by 4 3/4. Okay, now when I'm building up a pattern of paper, rather than take this and try and glue them all the pieces onto the card base, it's harder to line them up. So what I always do is I create the same size, just a piece of white, or depending on the color of the paper, it could be any color really, and you're going to build the pattern right on top. And this gives you your edges so that you can easily line up the pieces. So that's what I always do for that. Good morning, Heather. Nice to see that you've popped up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the designer series paper the same size as this panel, and I'm going to build the pattern on top of this one. So let me just grab my trimmer here. All right, so I want this to be 3 by 4 3/4. 3. And I can always use this for another project, by 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Okay, so this piece, oh, I need my trimmer. This piece is the same size as this piece. Okay, so I'm going to cut this now according to the template. So the template is we're basically cutting this in half because it's 3 inches and I want 1.5 inches. So go to 1.5 here and cut that in half. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this piece down to 3 3/4, or 3 1/4, 3 1/4. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I'll flip this one over like that. Okay, and the same thing on this one. This is now being cut, say, to 1.5 because it's a square. So 1.5. So this one I'll now flip this way, and then I have this one for here. So it's as simple as that. There's your pattern. Okay. Now, in some designs, when they put these pieces on, they may leave a bit of white space in between, but this template is not indicating that. And it's easier because I'm going to glue them directly onto this piece here, and I'm going to butt the edges up together. Okay, so you'll get a flowing pattern. Okay, so, and I would advise using your Tombow glue for this because then you get some wiggle time. We all love a little wiggle time. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet, and we're going to start building this. Okay. Now, this is quick and easy, and so I'm going to basically put my Tombow glue I'm just going to put it, I'm going to get glue on the sides here, and then I'm just going to squiggle in the middle. I think I can put it all on at the same time. Okay, so this one's going to go here. So see, it's easy because you can just butt it right up to the edge. And then this one's going to come down here. Now, at this point, you can decide maybe to turn your stripes a different way, but I kind of like them horizontal. See, and I'm butting that right up. You can just slide it into place. Okay, and this one's going to come up here. And then I'm going to put this one down here. Now, what always mystifies me is even if you cut two pieces of paper the exact same size, they're never the exact same size. So you'll see that I've got some white at the bottom, but maybe I overlapped it a bit at the top, which I did. And I don't worry too much about that because I can always pull in my trusty mini guillotine. And I can easily just, you see, I'm going to do the bottom first, I think. I can easily just trim it. Just trim it a tiny bit. And then we're good to go. There you go. Yeah, that's a real mystery to me. You can cut two pieces of paper the exact same size, but they're never the same size. All right, so there is basically our panel here. Pretty simple. Now, you could, if you wanted to make multiple cards, you could use several pieces of designer series paper and then swap the patterns in between. Okay, I will break this centerpiece up because I'll break this up in here with some design. Okay, so now you can just simply put this on your card. Now, here's another option. If you don't quite like the way that looks, I kind of think it needs a bit of a border to make this paper kind of stand out a little bit. Then you can just take another piece of one of the colors, and I thought I would use this gorgeous Shy Shamrock color. Okay, and I will cut a panel to go behind this just to give it a little bit of a pop. Okay, so the measurement for the layer is 3 1/4 by 5. So 3 1/4 by 5. 3 1/4 by 5. Okay, so now we can layer this on top. And I always try to remind people that it's at this point, if you wanted to add a bit of ribbon, you would wrap the ribbon around this panel here before you put it onto this panel. Or, you know, you could wrap it around the whole 2 panels if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to glue this together now. I think that just gives it a little bit of pop. And then this will go on the white, like so. Okay, and you don't have to have a white background. You could have picked up one of the other colors in here. All right, so that's basically your template. And in the template, it's showing you, you could just put a simple little greeting on here if you want, but I can't help myself. I am going to use one of my creatures. And I might actually, I could do any number of things. I could have them creeping in. I could put, let me just think about putting on a scalloped circle. So we've got these fabulous scalloped circles. I love these. And I don't want it to be too big, but I could put a scalloped circle in here. And then I could do some other stuff on there. Maybe I need a smaller one. Should I do a smaller one? Oh, I think that's better. It doesn't hide as much of the pattern. Okay, it just covers those 2 corners. Let's use that one. Okay, so I'm going to cut this circle. So I have my trimmer, not my trimmer, sorry. I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine right beside me here. So let me just cut out this circle. my little circle. Now, I have already I have some pieces cut out already here. You've got these really cool kelp pieces. So I cut these out from another project and didn't use them. And they're matching my, oh no, it's a different color for the background, but that's okay. These are really cool. These little kelp pieces. Another one stuck in here. So we could use those, and we could look on the dies. They have these absolutely adorable sea stars. So you could cut some sea stars out. Let's cut them out of maybe this green. Let's just do a few sea stars. So templates are designed to kind of get you started with an idea, and then you can go from there. So you could go to my photo section of my Facebook page and go to the photo section and find all of the template pictures that I've posted. And you could make a little binder or an album, and then you'd have all the sketches outlined. Okay, so I've got these adorable little sea stars. Okay. And you've got this fabulous coral chunk, which is really cool to use. You've got a larger piece of the kelp as well. And you've got the crab. All right, so let's start thinking about what we want to do. I might just put a few of these in the background and then stick my crab on top like that. So do we want the orange crab or do we want the pink crab? So the orange crab or the pink. Oh, I think the pink. That popped right out there, didn't it? Pink crab. Okay. And you could still put a greeting on here if you wanted to. Hello, friend. Love you, or thanks so much. Hello, friend might be cool. It's like the little crab is coming to say hello. Okay, so let's start building this up, and then we'll attach it to our card. Sometimes I get myself stuck in the mindset that I have to make scenes as realistic as possible. But right away, you look at these colors, they're not very realistic. So I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so we've got these on here. And the crab, I think I'm going to put on a dimensional. Now, I often say the paper is quite thin, right? If you wanted the crab to be just a little bit more sturdy so that, you know, maybe the arms don't bend, I often suggest cutting out another piece that is just on basic white cardstock. So you could do that and then put them together. So let's get some dimensionals out. And I think I'll use some mini dimensionals for the claws. Okay, I just opened up a new package of dimensionals, little ones. I love our minis. Just love them. Okay, I'll grab those off there. Let's put our little crab on here. Okay, here's our little crab. Okay. Now, again, you can skew. I love skewing stuff. So you could skew that or you could put it straight on. I think we'll do it straight on today. Yeah, let's just glue this straight on. Oh, I see Donda has joined. Hello. Yeah, and Eva. Hi, Eva. Okay, so we're going to put this on here like so. Try and get even borders on each side. Sometimes it's a challenge. And then we're going to glue this on here. I think I'll skew him a little bit. Okay. Now, what I thought I would do with these little starfish, I thought I would have them running. Not that they run, but I thought I would put them kind of running around the outside edges here. Let's do one more. And we'll stick this one right here, I think. There you go. Now, I love Wink of Stella, so I'm going to add a bit of Wink of Stella on the crab. On his body there. And a bit on his claws. Okay, and let's see. Do we need any gems or is that overkill? Not sure if we need any gems or not. We could add a couple. Now there's two sizes in here. These large ones are huge and they do stand up quite a bit. So they're not going to be great for mailing. So I think I'd rather use these smaller ones down here. They kind of, I love them because they're like bubbles. So I'll put one there and I'll put another one. We'll pretend they're bubbles. A few little bubbles. There you go, ladies. There is your card for today. And I'm so glad my microphone's working. Oh. Getting even edges. Yeah, it's not a great strength for a lot of people. And so, yeah, so skewing things on cards, I do it a lot. Trust me. All right, so what I was talking about the inside now, if you wanted to really decorate this, you could do another panel of the same color and then a piece of basic white on top, or you can just stamp directly. This is our thick cardstock, so you don't always need to have panels on the inside. And so what I was telling you earlier, I should have kept those out, those little side. Let's just find a little crab. Look at what I was talking about. So you see, you can have a little crab sitting right here. So why don't we do that? And it looks as if he's escaping from the inside of the card. Another fun thing I do every now and then for a birthday card is I, cut out things and I just throw them in the card. And when the person opens up the card, they all fall out. So I think these crabs, or sometimes when you have spiders, it kind of scares people when they open it up to have all these spiders fall in their lap, or crabs. It'd be fun. Okay, so you just stick that to an edge somewhere, and then you could add a greeting on the inside, whatever you want to do. So I don't know that that needs a greeting on the outside. I think it's busy enough. I've got shadows. There we go. So there's your card for today. So there's your template number 11. And I will add these other measurements into the description so that you have them. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me just pull me back in view here. Here we go. Yeah, thanks so much for joining me. And I will be back on Thursday night for Case the Caddy. Last week's Case the Caddy was a big fail because of my microphone problems. So I may do the same card, and I won't necessarily make it as I was going to do using the Valentine's theme, but I'll make a heart-related card for a birthday. So because it's a really nice, I'm doing it from the, I'm not casing the caddy per se. I am casing the flyer that came out. I'll just move my camera back here. This is the flyer that came out for the Marbled Elegance paper and the stamp set, which is called Hearts of Elegance. And so I thought I would make this card. This would be a beautiful, I've actually got a wedding card coming up, or a wedding coming up. So I might make this for a wedding card, but it's really pretty. And then these little gift bags are really, really sweet too. So I might do the card and the gift bag. So you can use the gift bag for any number of reasons. I mean, hearts are for birthdays. Hearts are for anniversaries. I mean, heart themes are for everything, right? Everything and anything. So again, thanks so much, and hope to see you on Thursday night. Have a great week, ladies. Bye for now.